Hello everybody, welcome back to the art room. Our first job today is going to be sketchbook covers. So I hope everyone brought a sketchbook or a notebook today so that we can start to design a new cover for our new sketchbook this year. So here's my sketchbook cover and here is my sketchbook or notebook. It's okay if your sketchbook has some lines on it, that's fine. So what we are going to do today is we're going to put a new piece of thick paper onto our sketchbook cover and we're going to tape it down so we can design our new sketchbook cover. So I'm going to show you today the supplies we need and how we're going to go about designing our new sketchbook cover. So the first thing you need is your sketchbook, and before we do anything with our covers, I want everyone to write your first and last name with a marker on the back of your cover. So I'm just going to flip it over and write my name. Make sure you write your first and last name on the back cardboard cover, okay? Now from here, we need a couple things to cut out some paper for our cover. So I'm going to choose a big sheet of this white paper here, and I need my sketchbook, I need some scissors, a pencil, a ruler, and some tape. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take just the cover right here, and I'm going to place it onto this white piece of paper. And I'm going to make sure that the spiral is going off the paper a little bit. See how it's going off the paper right there? So I'm just going to line it up and make sure the edge of my sketchbook touches the edge of the white paper and the spirals are off the white paper. So now here's where my pencil and my ruler are going to come in. I'm going to measure some paper that's big enough to cover this cover. So I'm just going to use my ruler and I'm just going to measure the edge of the ruler kind of like this. Place the ruler on the white paper and your sketchbook up against the ruler. Now I want to measure the width of the ruler to make sure I have about an inch of paper to wrap around my sketchbook cover. So I'm just going to make a line holding my ruler in the middle here for the edge of that side. Now I'm going to go to the edge of this side and place my ruler right up against my sketchbook cover here. And I'm just going to go around the ruler. And then I'm going to go all the way to the top here, place the ruler in the edge of my sketchbook, and just measure a line around the ruler. And connect those lines there. There, now I have a big enough piece of paper to cut out to tape to my sketchbook cover. So I'm going to put my sketchbook aside and get my scissors now. I'm just going to cut along the lines that I just measured. The reason why we measured around the sketchbook cover 1 inch is because we need enough paper to cover and wrap around the whole cover of our sketchbook, a fresh new white piece of paper. Okay, I can get rid of these scraps. I can put them back in the scrap bin. So now here's my new sketchbook cover. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sketchbook cover again like this, place it on top of the white paper, and again make sure the spiral is going off the paper a little bit, and this paper lines up with the cover on top and bottom here. So see how there's kind of a little bit of a bigger space from the paper you just cut out? Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a couple lines here with my pencil on the corners. Straight line from corner to corner, and straight line corner to corner. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut along these lines. This will make sense in just a minute. 2 little cuts there. Okay, now place it back under my sketchbook. Now, the reason I cut these pieces is because now I have some room here to fold the sketchbook cover over onto my cover, and I'm now going to take my tape and I'm just going to tape it down. So I need a pretty big piece of tape here. Make sure I cover the whole long space here and really smooth it out. If I have a little bit of extra, I can just cut that off. Okay, now it's time for the top and bottom, same thing. I'm going to take this piece and wrap it around and fold down and really press it with my fingers. And take the bottom and fold it around and press with my fingers. Now I'm going to repeat those same steps. Take a big piece of long tape and really smooth it out. And on the bottom, take a big piece of tape, smooth it out, and get rid of that extra on the end, tear it off. Okay, now if I close my cover here, I can notice that my new paper covers the whole cover, but there's a little triangle coming off the edge. I'm just going to cut those off, make it really nice and clean. And now I have a nice new sketchbook cover that I can draw on and color on and design a new cover for. So for our next step here, after we've covered with a new sheet of paper, we are now going to start to design what's going to be on our new sketchbook cover. So here's my cover right here. You can use any supplies that you'd like today if they are a drawing supply. So I used markers to design the words on my cover. I said Miss Buettner's Sketchbook. You can use different types of lettering. So in the basket at your table, there's some papers like this that will show you different types of letters that you can put on your sketchbook. I'm also drawing some pictures. So I'm drawing some doodles and some characters. So in these baskets here, you can see some artists that draw different types of doodles. If you want to get some inspiration from them, you can look at these. I'm also adding some cutting and gluing. So these pieces right here are pieces that I've cut out and I've glued. So in the scrap paper bins, you might find some neat patterned papers that you might want to cut out and glue to your sketchbook. So if I want to cut out a piece and glue it to my sketchbook, I'm only going to use my scissors and my glue sticks today. I'm not going to use a glue bottle because we don't want to get too messy. Just glue sticks today. I'm also using coloring supplies to color in the details of my sketchbook. So you may use any coloring supplies you like from the counter. You can use neon oil pastels like I use for some bright colors. You can use markers, crayons, colored pencils, any supplies that you would like. So if you do not finish your sketchbook cover today, that's all right. We call this a work in progress. That means we're going to work on this throughout the whole school year. So you can add some details today and then add some next art time if you have free time and keep adding and adding to your sketchbook cover. Okay? So anything that you'd like to put on your cover is up to you. You can draw anything that you would like as long as it's school appropriate.